Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe. That is Adam Mckola. The deal is done. The saga is over.
Finally!
Sancho, here we go. He's coming to Manchester United.
Finally, Sancho has come back to Manchester.
What are your thoughts?
So good, man. I'm just, like I was just saying to you a minute ago, I'm just glad we can stop all the talk, will he, won't he, all that kind of thing. The deal is done. Now, I know there's some of those people that are out there still that will say, won't believe it till I see him with the shirt. But when you look at the weight of the reports, when you look at who those are reporting it, David Ornstein, BBC, Simon Stone, Fabrizio Romano, you had Christian Falk, you had, I think even Filtvout, is that his name? Jumped on the bandwagon as well. All these people have been reporting it constantly. And today, they have all pretty much around the same period of time, within an hour of each other, gone, this is a done deal. 85 million euros, which is 72.9 million pounds, and that is to be paid over 5 years. 5 years, 5 equal instalments, that's the transfer fee. If you believe those in England, because there are a few briefs from Germany that there are add-ons that will take it to 90 million euros. But in England, most of the briefs are saying there are no add-ons, 82 million euros, 85 million euros.
73 million quid.
73 million pounds in 5 instalments. A 5-year deal has been signed, or agreed, not signed, with an optional extra year, around 350,000 euros a week, around 300 grand a week.
That's a lot.
When you look at his numbers, he's worth it. When you look at his age, you could probably say too much too soon. But it's a similar deal to what I think Marcus Rashford signed recently, wasn't it? Where his kind of took him up to around that with bonuses and kind of those kind of things. So maybe the wages are a little bit high, but ultimately Manchester United have got their man. And I think they've rewarded Sancho as well for waiting that extra year. Because I'm sure he was fed up after last year. You know, he wanted to move. United didn't make it happen. We didn't take their deadline, their price tag seriously. And you know what? United can say, actually, we've got a great fucking deal. 72.9 million pounds. The same price as Nicolas Pepe. The same deal. They got a 5-year installment plan on Nicolas Pepe. We've got the same deal. This is a bargain. It's a bargain.
Let's talk about that a little bit because obviously we're excited. Obviously we'll talk a little bit about how it'll fit in a minute and just exactly what it means for the squad, some of those numbers. Last summer, it was widely reported they wanted 110 million pounds or 110 million euros, whatever it was, 120 million euros, 110 million pounds. This summer, 12 months later, we're getting him for 35 million quid less than that. Now, you could say as a United fan, I'm sure you could make the case that, well, if we'd have had that player for that year, yes, we'd have lost out on 35 million quid, but we probably would have qualified from the group stage of the Champions League. We may well have beaten Leicester in the FA Cup. We may well have pushed City a little bit further, put some pressure on them. Who knows what would have happened. So to me, I would have rather have had him for the year. But now if you want to look at it as a deal, what we are paying for this player, not only is he not United's blow-away #1 transfer of all time like he would have been 110 million, he's our 4th highest transfer of all time. He's not even like top 3.
So we've
got Pogba at top,
Maguire.
Lukaku was 75 million quid, and he's 73.
So he's the 4th.
He's the 4th. So it's gone from being this sort of magnitude of a signing we've never seen, 3 figures, 100 plus million euros or pounds, whatever currency you want to do it in. All of a sudden, it is a deal the size of which this club has done before. If you're Woodward or whoever it is, you know, John Murta and those people putting this deal together, you'll be patting yourself on the back because take away the fact that we could have had him for a season, he could have won us some trophies. The price we're paying is exceptional for a player of his age and history. There isn't anyone in the world that is 21 years old that has done what he's done in the last 3 years in terms of creativity, output and goal scoring. No one else exists. And we've got him for less than the likes of Felix, Ousmane Dembele, João Coutinho. You know, we've got him at a really brilliant price.
And I think one of the things that we can look forward to, like Varane, says, does Sancho and Wan-Bissaka work as an overlap? I think when Sancho has someone like Wan-Bissaka behind him, the bodyguard, to Sancho. He can literally do whatever he wants up there because he knows he's got that cover in Wan-Bissaka. And if we can create a partnership like we've seen down the left-hand side with Shaw, Pogba and Marcus Rashford, sometimes Martial pulling out there as well. If we can create those kind of relationships down the right-hand side and have that coming from both angles, it can only be good things for Manchester United. I'm so excited about what this brings to the team. I was driving in as you were breaking the news, and I was listening to the radio. And some of the first things, I think it was Danny Mills and Adi Oladipo. I don't mind Adi, his sound.
Yeah.
But Danny Mills was on there talking, and the first things they spoke about were, how do they fit them all in? And I started thinking, are you like being serious? This is what we're going to start hearing now is, are United, how are they going to fit all these players in? When City sign a player, it's look at their depth, isn't it amazing? And Manchester United have needed a right winger since, it feels like since Beckham left, obviously since Valencia went to right back.
Yeah, which was
but it's been an awfully long time.
2016-ish.
Exactly. Yeah. And even then when Valencia was there, apart from a season or two, we knew we could improve on Valencia, do you know what I mean? We haven't had a right winger for an awfully long time. Bringing one in is important. But now, and this could be a good thing, it's made the competition for that number 9 position even better. And it means Greenwood can play across the front three now as well.
Yeah, and also, I think I mentioned it before, but it's something worth remembering. Sancho can play across the front three as well. Maybe not as a striker, but certainly as a number 10 and on the left wing. So if Rashford needs a rest, you put Sancho on that side. We already know Greenwood can do a job on the right wing if we need it. Or you can put Martial on the left, Sancho on the right, Greenwood up front, Cavani needs a rest. You know, we can rest players in all three positions and have players of a very good quality backing that up. In the past, we didn't have that.
And you know when he plays the 3-4-1-2?
Yeah.
Sancho could be one of that too as well.
Yeah.
Or even the one off, which is unlikely because of Bruno.
Yeah.
What this does though, which is interesting, because look, it looks like we want Pogba to stay.
Yeah.
The club. Not on about me and you. We know we want him to stay.
Yeah.
It looks like the club want him to stay. Now last year we were kind of putting him in on the left and putting Rashford on the right. You can't do that anymore.
No.
Like obviously you maybe could do it for a game, but consistently you can't do that anymore. And you have to maybe now, you're forced to change that midfield to fit Paul Pogba into his strongest position, which isn't as one of the two liars, unless he's got Kante next to him.
Yeah.
So I think it does force us to solve that problem. And I know we're going to talk about who next and Varane's being spoken about.
Yeah.
But I think it now makes that position the next big one for United.
Yeah.
That DM position.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about centre-back, we will talk about that as well, but the thing with Sancho is it's almost amazing that it feels like something has finished. Like, oh, thank God it's finished. But really, this is just the start, isn't it? This is the minimum requirement for a player to be at Man United. It's almost like we get more caught up on the transfer of it than the actual, he gets to play for us. I can't wait to see him play for Manchester United. And he probably won't be in those first couple of pre-season games because I'm sure anyone who went to the Euros will get a month off.
He's getting a rest though.
He's getting a rest at the minute. Yeah, he's not playing a hell of a lot. But I cannot wait to see him in those probably last couple of pre-season friendlies and then getting into next season. And another thing, we have to start the season well if we want to push for the title. And the fact that Marcus Rashford is possibly, if he has his shoulder surgery, going to be out for an indeterminate length of time, likely to be around 2 to 6 weeks of the season. It's brilliant that we have got this sorted already because he's going to have as much pre-season as anyone who's been to the Euros. He'll have a good probably month or so with the squad before the season starts. He can bed in. He already knows a lot of those players, especially that front line. He knows Rashford. He knows Greenwood. He knows these people. It's going to be just a brilliant thing to see him play for Manchester United, and I can't wait.
I think a bit of the excitement has been taken out of this deal because of the length of the time.
Yeah.
And I think because nowadays we're constantly updated as to what's going on. And usually the updates aren't an update because it's what was happening a couple of months ago or where we were last year. And it's kind of taken a bit of the fun out of it. But hopefully now that that's all gone, we can just focus on the facts that Manchester United have probably signed the best young player in the world.
Yeah.
How old is he, 20?
21.
21?
So between...
He counts as a young player, right?
Of course, yeah. It's basically him, Haaland and Mbappe.
Mbappe don't miss that pen. I mean, Sancho don't miss that pen.
Mbappe does. We saw that. Yeah, I mean, it's between those three. And in terms of a creator, not only is he the best young creator in the world by a country mile, he's one of the best creators in the world at any age already, and he's only 21. So, yeah, sensational. We've got a super chat here from Detwick. He said, currently on eBay buying all the old Sanchez 7 shirts, going cheap, going to be ready for next season. Yeah, alter ego Jadon Sanchez for Jadon Sancho there. It's a good point you mentioned about the sort of the way it gets drawn out these days. Do you remember when we signed, I mean anyone in the mid-2000s, but Hargreaves was one that stood out for me. We went on holiday during the summer, and every day we're on this caravan site, and every day we'd go to like the little shop at the caravan site, buy the newspaper, check the bag, buy 2 or 3, you buy the Mirror, you buy the Mail because it's you buy whatever. Yeah. You're like, what have they got, what have they got, what have they got? Back when not everyone used to just report each other's news. And it would take a day to get a reset, a day. But now it's like all the big transfer people tweeting multiple times a day. We've known for probably 10 days or so now that this was going to happen at some point, and it does take some of the excitement out of it. But
see, for me,
so exciting that
we obviously had like that.
Yeah.
And then I think in the internet era and digital TV, you then had BBC gossip column, early doors. But before that, I was a teletext guy.
Yes.
Like checking teletext, 302, 316 or 318, I think the gossip column was, seeing what the news was. And then once, when we had a phone, because occasionally we wouldn't pay our phone bill will get cut off.
Good lad.
When we had a phone, a landline phone, I remember calling Club Call, and it was like $1.50 a minute. And the guy would be talking really slowly. And like on the Club Call, so on the Club Call page, it'd say Club Call at the top. It'd have like all the 20 teams, Premier League teams on the left. So Arsenal, Aston Villa, Barnsley, I'm sure it was Charlton, Chelsea, all that back then. And it'd go all the way down, and then it'd have a line for each one, so a story.
Yes.
So it'd say for United, Brazilian striker linked with Old Trafford move. And you're like, oh my fuck, we're signing Ronaldo. So then you'd be like, right, as soon as them like go sleep, I'm jumping on that phone and I'm phoning Club Call to see what's going down. And then you'd be there for about 4 minutes. You'd be none the wiser, be speaking really slowly, and it'd just be what's already on gossip column.
Just be some bloke in a kitchen in Reading. Right, I've got something for you. We'll come back to Jadon Sancho in just a minute, but it's worth letting the people at home know that this show is sponsored by Manscaped. Now, we've been doing, here we go, but do you know what needs to go sometimes? It is the downstairs garden, isn't it? And, Transfers Live is sponsored.
Here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Transfer Live is sponsored by Manscaped. Join over 2 million men who are shaving their downstairs area with Manscaped. You like Manscaped, don't you?
I use Manscaped.
Yeah.
I've given a lot of my Manscaped stories on this channel before.
Yeah.
I think it's world class. I think the light is important.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go down a mine without one of those hats with the light on, would you?
Let me just see if I can chisel some coal and come back in 6 weeks and then turn the lights on,
Yeah.
see if I've got it all, because there'd be a bit you've missed there. You didn't even touch the vein there. What's that there? You've done a shit in the corner. And sometimes you do find that. And you know what? And that is a startling time for everyone. But yes, the light is very important.
The light is important. If you want to avoid nicking the gooch, it's got that no-nick technology. To sort out the gooch.
Yeah.
The gooch is an important area as well.
The gooch is huge.
Do you include the gooch? Do you leave the gooch out?
No, I include all of it. I like it to look like newly laid asphalt down there. Just a road.
Asphalt.
There's no fault after that. But I tell you what is very impressive by Manscaped. The perfect package 3.0.
Now, one of our subscribers says, who's Jack, he says, men
jacked.
and women, Joe.
Yeah.
Because his missus loves it as well. So we do need to let you guys know out there. Some female customers absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore what you said there.
Okay. The Lawnmower 3.0 is included in the Perfect Package 3.0. The Lawnmower 3.0 helps you up your full body grooming game in the best way possible. It's got ceramic non-nick technology. So the blades are going like this. The blades are going like this, and then it takes all the hair away absolutely perfectly. There's also the Weed Whacker, which does the nose and it does the ears. Right? And the other day, I felt a bit of fluff on my ears for the first time and had to go over it with the Weed Whacker.
You know, a little tip for the nose one?
Go on.
I went too far last time. I just a smooth ass nose.
Shaved your brain.
Yeah, I was basically just sneezing every second. Don't take too much out of your
Don't
nose.
take too much out of it. But again, make sure you check out Manscaped. Use the code PADDOCKLIVE and you will get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. The link is in the description. Click on that. Use the code PADDOCKLIVE, as you can see on the screen there, to get 20% off and free shipping. And again, 79% of partners have said long nose hair puts them off. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be knocking about with someone, they see your nose and they throw you away. I need to do mine.
I mean,
actually,
don't tell them
as a
short.
reminder.
Tell them get on Manscaped.
Yeah, get on Manscaped. Again, thank you for sponsoring Paddock Live. Use code Paddock Live at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped. Join 2 million other men who have decided to escape their man. Right, Jadon Sancho then. Manscaped, that could be good. Get old Ma Deirdre on it.
Manscaped.
Come here.
Do you reckon Sancho uses Manscaped?
Yeah, Manscaped.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to have to take my jacket off. I'm sweating my actual...
Which footballer do you think needs Manscaped the most?
Gattuso.
Do you know
That
what's
thing's
mental?
a pure mess.
Do you know what's mental?
What?
I literally, before I asked the question,
Yeah.
I had his, and there's no reason for us both to be thinking of Gattuso.
No, we haven't
There's
spoke
so
about
many
him.
different
And
hairy
we haven't
footballers.
spoke about him today at all.
That is, I think
Yeah.
we're meant to be. I think that's what that means.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about Jadon
David
Sancho a
saying,
little bit more.
don't read super chats then. He's unsubbed. We've been reading them, haven't we?
Well, we've been trying to read him.
David, mate, we see you in here all the time. We love you, man. Just relax a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Just everyone, just relax, man. Sometimes we miss things. We're just human beings.
Yeah,
as I used to
Anthony
say
Dunn-
when I was a child.
Anthony Dunn says, bad timing on my first super chat just before your ball chat. Sorry, Anthony, it's hard to go back. all the way.
Egbert says, what number is Cavani going to wear, do you think, next season? We
Well-
were talking about this, weren't we?
Yeah, so the initial rumours coming out was that Jadon Sancho was going to be getting the number 7 shirt. Then those rumours were sort of like pushed back a little bit, saying that they were what he requested, not what's actually been granted to Sancho. We're not entirely sure. I think for the sake of Cavani's 1 year left on his deal.
Did you
He's
read
gonna get that
Anthony's?
taken away. No, I couldn't scroll back far enough. What did he say?
Can you read that one? Put the camera on him.
Can I read this? I haven't
Yeah,
read it.
you can read it.
Anthony-
Anthony Dunn said this.
Anthony Dunn, super chat, says, glad to finally have him at United, but this coming, as in him coming to United, reminds me of my wife when she said she was close and it takes ages to finally happen. I think what he's saying there is, do you know when someone's in the cab on the way home from a night out and she's like, oh, we're nearly back, and then it actually still took her a few more minutes because she was further away than she thought because she forgot about the second ring road.
It's like a taxi driver who says, I'm round your corner.
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
Yeah. If we've
The
missed
number
any
thing.
other super chats, Cam, can you bring them up for us, please?
Yeah.
You beautiful little gremlin.
Yes. Talk to me about this number situation. How much do you put into this, like number 7?
I say
whatever?
give him Cavani 21.
Yeah.
Because 21's coming.
Isn't Dan James 21?
Yes.
And he's coming as well.
Send to Leeds.
Send him to Leeds. That's not very nice, is it? He
Yeah, I shouldn't act like this once because we've got a new winger.
He created equal most chances in the Euros so far, I think. 10. Something like that.
You know, international football
Yeah.
doesn't impress me much like Shania Twain, you know.
Really? So you've got a fast
There's about three,
Welsh
four
winger.
good teams in the whole of the Euros.
England.
France. Were.
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
North Macedonia.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
half of them are out already.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think to the numbers thing?
I am 21, yeah, Jack. I am 21. Thanks.
I won't ask you again, but I'd like you to answer the question I just asked you.
Sorry, say.
What do you think to the whole numbers thing? Him being 7, moving people about. How much of a role do you think
I
it
can't
plays?
stand here and
The
say.
disrespect.
I can't stand here and say numbers don't mean nothing. Because people that have played for teams that I've played for will call me a motherfucking liar right now to my face.
What, you go up and grab the number 7 shirt of someone?
Yeah, I'm a dickhead like
David
that.
Beckham.
It started off at that in school. Like, you know, being Bollywood Becks and that.
Bollywood Becks, yeah.
And then just always having the Predators, the curtains, everything. I had the number 7 shirt. I earned that shirt though. You know.
Did you? What, by running up and grabbing it out the pile first?
No, we were playing
Your performances.
hardball, bruv.
Have you ever seen...
And then it just carried on into my adult stage. And for most teams that I was at, I was captain, so fuck off.
Bollywood Becks is a nickname. Was that a self-named thing, or did people call you that? Has anyone ever called you that? That's you've just called yourself
Before I called myself
that?
that?
No.
Yes.
No, they haven't. Have you ever watched a Bollywood film?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham and that.
Is it good? It's a very different style.
I don't know what's
isn't it?
going on, bro, when I watch them. There's too many songs, man.
A lot of singing.
I watched one once on an aeroplane. I think it's got Shah Rukh Khan in it. It might be him. And he was managing a football team, a girls' football team. Now, that was a good, I say good. I was probably very tired on a plane. And we can't read that because it's not on a screen, Cam. And David said, yes, Adam and Joe, United finally do the business. Early JM deal?
Early transfer deal, isn't it, I guess? What were we saying? On the plane?
On the plane, I watched that one with Shah Rukh Khan managing a football team.
How was it?
That was good.
Was it?
Yeah. You know what's mad though, yeah, about these things? Is a hockey team, says a few other people.
Oh, there you go.
Do you know what's mad about these things, yeah? So like, there'll be two people in love, yeah? And like...
Sweet.
I was about to say a story that actually happened to me and it would have been funny to
say
that. It'll be like one person is like one religion, the other person is another religion. Right. They can't be together.
Like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. So they can't be together now. So the parents and all that are getting like, you know, they're pissed off. And then next thing you know, the geezer's singing and that. And like, she's dancing on the top of a mountain, yeah. He's singing it, but she can hear him. And you're thinking, how do they hear each other?
It's a lot of metaphor.
Like it's snowing and then it's summer and then it's spring.
Yeah.
And it's where all these dancers come from. And now they're in the streets. And now they're fighting and some geezers got thrown through a veg store and I don't know what's happening.
Do you know what?
And now there's another song.
I've never watched any Bollywood films. They sound fantastic. Full of metaphor.
They're
like
4 hours long.
She's up in the distance, unattainable, different microclimate, let alone different location. She's at the top of Mount, you know,
and
Mount Difficulty, as we'll call it.
And there's just songs. It's like a Disney movie, bro.
Fantastic.
And I remember watching some of them. My granddad would tune in all the time.
Yeah.
My family. I remember people from Birmingham, they know about Star City. They started doing Asian films, bro. The next thing you know, the whole family's going to watch them. And I just remember being around when these things were happening and just thinking, what is going on? But you know what? I give nothing more than to be back in that living room, my granddad watching some shit Indian film.
That you're thinking,
and me sitting there like,
can't we watch Grandstand?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then my granddad used to love as well. If it weren't cricket or that,
Cricket's
Laurel and Hardy or Mr. Bean, bro. He had a sofa, yeah, which you could lift up. Remember them sofas? Storage space.
Not with him on it, by the way.
No. And it never had a bed in it. It was just storage underneath, yeah. And he just had loads of VHSs under there. Laurel and Hardy,
Filth.
Mr. Bean.
And then you go under the top 2 layers. XXX, big booties, etc.
Bang bus.
Yeah, total face reconstruction and that. Right, let's move on to our next story then. We've dissected Sancho and...
Can I tell you another funny story about my granddad?
Yeah, we can.
So he used to work in a bullet factory when he was young.
Wow.
Yeah, so check this back in the day of no health and safety and that health and safety gone mad. So back in the 70s or 80s or whatever it was, 80s it would have been. He used to come home from a bullet factory with bullets at bonfire night and throw them in the fire.
Right, so they used to fly off.
Why would you do that?
So they would explode at the speed
so
of...
your kids and that would be like, oh,
that is such a
we're getting
terrible
shot
idea.
at in the garden.
Because a gun, all it does is hit the back of the bullet, which sets off the gunpowder in the back of it, which then propels it. So in theory,
if my dad lied to me about that story and I just said it on the internet, I'm going to kill him.
I like to think so. Right, what's our next story then, Cam? We have got Eduardo Camavinga. Someone's asking about him in the comments. Camavinga has a choice of top clubs if Rennes let him leave. This is a quote coming from I believe it's his agent, his entourage, someone, who is saying basically, everyone wants him. So United are linked with him. We see news from a United perspective, a United viewfinder, because you follow your United accounts on Twitter, you go on United subreddits, etc., etc. But there's probably half a dozen clubs out there thinking, we've got a chance with this kid. He may well stay in Rennes. He's linked with PSG. He's linked with, I think, Real Madrid as well, and Chelsea were after him supposedly too. It's going to, there we go. Look, believe me, we have a lot of offers this year, a lot of offers and good ones. I mean, top clubs. We don't want to rush. There is a right time to move on, and playing games is the most important thing at his age. And that is his agent speaking there. It's going to be a fight for his signature, isn't it?
Do you remember, did you join me on the free signings to win us the league video I did for my channel?
Yeah.
You did, innit? And when we were talking about midfielder, I mentioned him briefly, I would love us to get Camavinga. I just don't think it's going to happen. And to hear these rumours gets me excited. Is his agent the same as Bale's agent? That's interesting, because Jonathan Barnett's Bale's agent, I believe. Okay. So I'm surprised he's got an English agent. I would love him to join United. What makes me think it's possible and not just posturing by the agent and that,
Yeah.
is that the money situation for some of these clubs that you'd expect to be interested in
Yeah.
would be different. One of the things though, are we therefore preparing for Pogba to leave this summer? So let's say PSG were going to get Camavinga and now they've spotted a market to get Pogba and United now get Camavinga.
I don't think he's a direct replacement for Pogba.
He'd be a great replacement
but
for
not
Pogba.
at his age. I think it's a lot to ask. Come in and replace one of the best, most famous, sort of well-won players in the world. He's won the World Cup. He's won, I think it's 3 Serie A's. It's a tough pair of shoes to fill, that of Paul Pogba. But I think it'd be a great signing. It does seem as though we are interested in him. Again, it's one of those, like you said. Yes, you have to balance the fact that everyone's going to be after him, but also not all of the big teams in Europe have got a lot of money at the moment. And that includes maybe Manchester United, but we are the first team to spend big this summer.
And we've got a bargain.
Yeah.
And we've managed to get it over. That helps him.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Do you know this thing of the rumours, like you said, English press seem to be coming out and saying it's no add-ons, so it's just that's the fee no matter what. Then you've got press from the German side who seem to be saying it's that plus an extra potential 12 or 8 million in add-ons, whatever it is. I thought, if there's no add-ons in this, that must be because we're paying a lot of it up front. Like, they were like, right, well, it's only going to be this, but we'll give you 50 million of it straight away or something. Based on what you're saying, it sounds as though we're paying it equally split over the course of the contract.
It's not on what I'm saying, it's on what's being reported by some in the media.
But I think that's a remarkable structure that United have managed to do there, and for a fee that's really impressive.
It's like 16 million
Sancho,
a year.
Of course, we're talking about. That's amazing.
And that means if we had 120 million to spend this year, we've got 100 million left still to play around with.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had to give more up front, obviously goes without saying you have less to play with this summer.
Yeah.
That could be big.
It could
for our targets elsewhere.
We've got another story as well, one concerning a current United player, Juan Mata, who, believe it or not, his contract runs out tonight at midnight.
So does Messi's.
So does Messi's.
Or Messi's might already be run out.
Well,
shall I phone him?
Yeah, give him a ring while we're going through this story. Also, like the video, please, if you like the video. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes on the video. Juan Mata, contract runs out tonight. There have been rumours. Is he answered? Leave him a message. Started with, yo, mess.
No, he rejected the call.
Did he?
No voicemail, come on.
Upsetting that, isn't it?
I'll leave him a voice note in a bit.
Juan Mata, speaking of Messi, Juan Mata's contract runs out at midnight tonight.
Speaking of
like
Messi.
some sort of Cinderella's shoes, they will frazzle and disappear. He'll no longer be a Manchester United player at midnight tonight.
Don't tell Steve that, whatever you do.
There's rumours that we're going to sign him.
Steve's already texted him.
Rumoured that we're going to sign him on a year extension. Obviously, that hasn't happened yet.
Steve's already sent him a Paddock shirt.
Has he?
Yeah, saying, you haven't got a club, you ought to sign up for us.
Yeah, that'd be good.
He has. No, he has.
Do you think we should sign him on a year extension? Do you think we'll try to?
It's hard to figure this one out because I feel like the club have a plan for him in terms of post-football playing career, but I also feel like Mata isn't ready to quit yet.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt, we'd maybe see him leave and go to a Spanish club.
Yeah.
And go back home. But then his family's set up here, innit?
Yeah.
Some of them are. So does he want to stay? Does he want to coach here? Could he be part of the... How important is he to the dressing room?
Yeah.
Have you watched Kaiser yet?
No, not yet. I'm going to be watching it this weekend.
He survived in all of his clubs simply because the other players loved him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He was just
and
basically
he wasn't
a
even a
mascot.
professional footballer. He was just sorted the party, sorted everything out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Mata does that. But how influential you are in the dressing room could earn you another deal, especially if the club have a plan for you in terms of coaching.
Yeah.
Also, are the club planning on letting Lingard go without a replacement? Are the club planning on letting... Daniel James has been linked with a move. It's probably bullshit.
Speculate.
It's probably bullshit. But if you let a few of those players go without replacements, having Mata on the bench is always good. But I'm genuinely... If he expects to play, it don't make sense.
No. And he has just gone down the pecking order. The thing that kind of makes it make a little bit of sense to me is, like you said, Jesse Lingard is probably leaving on a free. I mean, I know Andreas Pereira's already gone, but that's another player in that position that we've lost
He
in
hasn't,
the last 12 months. Has he not gone fully?
Pereira's still here, right?
On loan?
He's still here, bro.
Oh my God. Right, so we've got to sort that out. He's probably going though, let's be honest. Then also we've got Sancho in as well. So it's like one or two of those are probably going. I don't know if, we will be sort of net down in terms of attacking players if we let Mata and Lingard go.
Someone said rather Hannibal get the chances. I say someone 22 said that. Now, do you fear that holding on to someone like Mata restricts the opportunities for Hannibal? Or do you think if Hannibal's going to get the chances, he gets them regardless of whether Mata's there or not?
And this is no offence to Juan Mata, but if you aren't more effective for Manchester United than a 33-year-old Juan Mata, you shouldn't be in the squad anyway. I'm not saying that Juan Mata's no good, but we've all seen him play in the last 12 months. The games in which he can be effective are so slim at this point that if you aren't more effective than that, then you probably need another year to develop anyway. So I don't think he's not the one. Maybe someone like, let's say you brought Cavani in. I can see how you could say, well, he's stopping Greenwood because he's old, he's leaving soon, but he is probably currently better than Greenwood. That makes sense. But Mata, he's not so good that it's stopping players at the risk of, just a short-term contract.
Shit!
What?
It's been a while. It has been a while. Craig Norwood has just tweeted. Craig, have we been doing videos together since Craig Norwood's been a thing?
Because
he's been off the scene for a while.
He's been on his hiatus since we met.
That's crazy, right? Are you Craig Norwood?
Explain to people who Craig Norwood is for those.
Craig Norwood is a photographer. I don't think he was employed by United, but he worked with United. He may have been employed by United. Yeah. Either way, he's a photographer. What he used to do was, whenever a signing, forget Fabrizio, he used to either tweet just their name, or tweet a picture of them, or follow him, or something like that. And as soon as he did that, you knew it was a done deal.
It was game over.
It was a done deal. And it was usually because he had just taken the pictures of him or something.
Yeah. He knew.
Yeah. He's just tweeted a video of Jadon Sancho.
He was the original tier 0, wasn't he?
He was tier Donny.
Where if he says it, it already happened.
Craig Norwood, shout out you.
Yeah, back in the house, Craig Norwood. Tom Marshall with the super chat says, great start, but we need more centre back and a DM next. Let's not forget Glazers out. Love United, hate Glazers.
Let's not forget whether you're going back into the ground, you're not. Let's keep up that energy from last season. Like we've seen with the fan forums, the meetings, these promises that they've made.
Yeah.
The protests have an impact. Keep them up. Let's see where else we can take it.
Absolutely. Right, I think, do we have one more story? We have one more story. Let's get into that. And that is Leon Goretzka. It was mentioned briefly in the news this morning, or maybe perhaps in more detail in the news this morning. So if you want to check that out, make sure you do. But I wanted to get your impression on him. Man United potentially seeing Goretzka as a option if Paul Pogba leaves. Now, it does seem as though Bayern Munich also see him as a pretty key piece of their team, so this one is probably unlikely. But what are your opinions on Leon Goretzka? Do you think he could sort of fit into that midfield if Pogba was to go?
I think he's a good player. I think I would like him in the squad. He'd be an improvement on Fred and McTominay. I don't think this is really happening. And I think I saw a tweet. I can't remember who it was by, so I don't want to say it was someone's tweet and it's not theirs. But I seen a tweet by a journalist that I remember thinking, he's usually right. And they said that this is just a ploy to get a better contract.
That's what I was just going to mention next, yeah. It basically...
Who was it?
I can't remember who it was now, but it was a
was
reliable source.
It
may have been. It was a reliable source basically saying he's doing this to get a bigger deal at Bayern. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it before I drop the old poo hammer.
I'm too experienced.
You're too wise in this game, aren't you?
Levy.
You're like a wise owl when it comes
about
to...
that tune?
No. Yeah, big time. Love it, me. We'll sing it later. Right, before we go, once again, this
What
show...
about Ruben Neves? A few people asked about him in the comments, so I just thought I'd do that.
I'd have him, but I don't think he fixes what we need necessarily. I think we need someone who's a bit more mobile than that. Especially if you're putting him next to Pogba. I think we see the best out of Paul Pogba when you've got someone who can not just do the work next to him, but sometimes cover him as well, because Pogba does tend to stray and give the ball away, if we're honest.
What do you think of Nuno Espirito Santo's Spurs?
Do you know what? I may be in the minority in thinking that I don't think it's the worst signing ever. I think 12 months ago, Nuno's stock was really high. Rumours with him going to Real Madrid, Barcelona, big teams. He's had a shit year with Wolves, but he did what will basically be the benchmark for bringing a team up or keeping a team in the Premier League from the Championship. I think he's not a bad manager, and it could go wrong, but I don't think it's such a sort of hilarious "what have you done" move like people think it is. What do you think?
Not asked.
Not asked. Right. Okay.
I know. One more question.
All right.
Who will Manchester United sign next? Because that's what the people at home want to know. Remember, this is just our opinion, not ITK stuff.
Yeah.
We're not those people. Yeah, I know. Steve does it sometimes.
But sometimes he does get info. And
Sometimes he does get info.
He does.
Sometimes it is wrong. Sometimes
That's
it is
true.
right. Sometimes it is wrong.
True.
Now, because he knows Rio, I never quite know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
because he's done it before.
He's taken it from a few different angles, isn't he?
Yeah, he
And
loves
that's the
it
best
from
thing
a
about
few
Steve.
different angles.
Steve will take it from any angle. Take it from the front, he'll take it from the side.
Yeah.
He'll take it on the back.
So who's next?
Who's next? I'm going to say a centre back. My heart says Varane, my head says Pau Torres.
Pow! If you don't know about me,
Pau, what do you think?
Rafael Varane. But ain't he and Pogba just had a little
bust up. I think that we can move past that. I think that's friends having an argument rather than people who hate each other who can't work together. Personally.
Sometimes though, a little bit of Aggie in the dressing room. It's good, isn't it? Remember Sheringham and Cole?
Yeah.
Still played together well.
They didn't even speak to each other.
That's good, that. But you know what they didn't do? They never let it affect their goal celebrations. And that's what I love. It reminds me of, do you remember when you was in school, yeah? And like you and your mate would fall out and you just like, really deep down, you'd both want to talk to each other. But deep down, you were both just like, I ain't saying save to him first. Fuck that. Like, am I some sort of chump? And I remember once, I didn't really like playing cricket in it, but they used to ask me to play because I was one of the best batsmen about, obviously. So we played cricket, and it was me and him batting together, last batsman, and we had to make like 50 runs or something, and we weren't talking. We were just like nodding and that, and we fucking did it. And at the end, we went, hey, and then we went,
fuck you, yeah.
and he was like, what are we doing? Why don't we just hug each
And then
other?
were you friends after?
That kind of broke the ice again, but it was still a moment where we went, fuck you.
Cricket brings people together, doesn't it?
I don't like cricket.
Thank you very much again to Manscaped for sponsoring the show. Make sure you use code Paddock Live at checkout for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Check out the Perfect Package 3.0. That's got, if you're thinking, I know people talk about Manscaped all the time. I don't really like. Is it the Clippers?
You see it on UFC?
Is it that?
And they have
It's
HD
everywhere.
in between man's legs and that,
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
see how smooth they are. So
Exactly.
it works.
If you're thinking,
but just use our link.
What do I get? What's the best thing? Where's the starting point? I don't know what to do. Just get the Perfect Package. That's got everything you need. Everything you need is in that. Don't worry about it.
Check this out.
20% off free
If
shipping.
you get the Perfect
Paddock Live.
package, you'll have the Perfect Package.
Perfect. Right, thank you very much again for joining us. Thank you, Adam, for coming on. Manchester United have agreed a deal with Jadon Sancho. All that's left now is a medical, and Manchester United to confirm this. There should be no hiccups with the medical. 1 in 100 transfers. There's
21 is
something
coming.
with the medical, but we don't expect anything with that.
21 is coming.
21 might be coming, and it might be Cavani's new number next season if Sancho gets that number 7.
And if James leaves, which is not.
We'll see in a bit.